So grab your either your Markaloo or the small dome for your Markaloo and or your little high bounce balls. So let's come and let's give our feet a little bit of a massage to start off with. So we're just going to take the ball or the Markaloo small dome and use it.
Have your ball in your sock, please. Yeah.
Use it.
I have your sock.
Have a little massage. So if you've got the ball, we're going to go for a little roll over the top of the ball.
All right.
If you've got the Markaloo dome, just releasing the front part of your heel. So towards the front of your heel and just stepping on it. Working from the inside arch of your foot and then gradually going across to the outside. So whichever of those options you have available to you, you've got to use that.
Like this.
Yeah, I need the sock.
Are you doing class? Yep. Oh, joining.
This feels good, doesn't it? Okay, and any special spots you find, you can have a little extra time there. Maybe just pressing down into the ball, doing like a little twist motion while you're pressing down. Don't fall off the ball like I just did. We'll let Sandy in. Okay. All right. And then switching over to your other foot as well. Hi, Sandy.
I'm joining with audio and I can't see it.
How are you doing, Sandy? We're just having a little foot massage. Oh, golly. Okay. All right, once you've done all your, oh, I nearly did it again. I nearly fell off again. Hi, Tony. Once you've done all the bits that feel like they need doing, we'll come on down to the floor. Bring with you your squishy ball. Now, Natasha and Paul, for today, you can either do it with a cushion in between your knees instead of the ball or just without, doesn't matter. Okay, but we'll get you sorted for next time.
So mine should arrive this week, Emma, but I'll just use pillow too.
Okay, no worries. Oh, golly, it's all happening today, isn't it? We've got people coming and going everywhere. I do have one gem that I can drop off to you tomorrow. I just didn't get there today.
We're back.
Sorry, I forgot to message you back. So.
No, that's okay. That's all right. Okay, so we're going with our ball or cushion in between your knees. And then just using that to get your inner thighs starting to switch on a little. So you're going to have your feet a comfortable distance apart so that your knees and feet are lined up. So that's going to be different if you've got a cushion or a ball. And we sit up nice and tall. Just gently press your knees in against your cushion or your ball and then release. And we press in and release. Press in, release. A couple more. Good. All right. Then we take away the support of our arms. We're going to press in on the ball and roll back just a little, scooping into your tummy. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, squish the ball and roll back up. So we press into the ball and roll back, and press into the ball and roll up. That's it. So we're just starting to warm up your spine, getting it to move a little. Also connecting your inner thighs and into your tummy. Good. That's it. Okay. Then from there, we're going to roll all the way down to the mat. Down, 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 down. Readjust your feet so that they're a little bit closer into your bottom. And then from there, we'll take our pelvic curl. So finding that spot where your feet are comfortable. Activate the back of your shoulders and your arms into the floor. Press into the ball and roll your spine up away from the floor. Take a breath in at the top, and then as you breathe out, still pressing gently into the ball to roll your spine back down. Releasing your hips at the bottom, and then once again, press the ball or the cushion to roll up. Hold at the top for a breath in, and then breathing out, roll it back down. Okay. Trying to stay active through the back of your shoulders into the mat so that your chest is nice and open. Rolling up and rolling down. We'll just have one more of those. Okay. Then we just shift the ball down so that it's in between your shins. Yeah? Natasha and Paul, this one won't work with a cushion. So just remove the cushion and leave it off to the side for a second. We're going to work on our single leg lift. So we breathe in, roll the ball up one leg to bring your knee above your hip. And then as you breathe out, we roll the ball back down, returning your foot to the floor. Other side. Rolling up, knee comes up above your hip, and then rolling down. Nice and light and easy. So feeling a sense of freedom and lightness through the front of your hips as you do this. Connected into your tummy. Just moving slowly. And the minimum amount of pressure required on the ball to stop you from dropping it. Okay, let's try one more on each side. Lifting up and lowering. And other side. Lift and lower. All right, now let's go into a double leg lift. So we roll the first leg up. Hold it there. Bring the second leg up in the air. Hold it there. The first foot goes down. And then the second foot comes down. Other leg goes first now. Lift it up. Lift your second leg. First foot down to the floor. And second foot out. Switch the leg that goes first. We take it up, up, down, and down. And one more time with the other leg going first. Lift, and lift, lower, And oh, I nearly dropped it lower. Okay, from there, taking your hands behind your head, elbows just where they're comfortable and you can just see them in the edge of your vision. And then we have our chest lifts, so we curl head and shoulders off the mat as we come up on the exhale, and inhale, we lower back down. So try and keep your tailbone heavy on the floor and your pelvis staying still as you're curling up and as you're lowering down. Wow, is anyone else shaking like I am today? Who had a week off? That was naughty. Okay. I know you're in there somewhere, abs. Speak to me. All right, let's do 2 more just like this. And last one. Okay, from there, going into hula. Now, Jeff, if your shoulder is uncomfortable holding your head in your hands, you can just do this one with your arms crossed across your chest. That's the same for anyone. Okay, we come to our chest lift. Hold at the top. And then as you breathe out, we're going to rotate our rib up and over towards our opposite hip. Come back to the middle and then twist the other way. Keeping your pelvis really still on the mat, so your pelvis isn't rocking from side to side. There we go, across. And come center. And across. And center. Finding where our obliques are. One more on each side. Okay. And then take a little lie down. We'll take our arms out to the side today, so at or just below shoulder height. Your legs can come to tabletop, so you have the option of having your cushion or ball in between your knees, or you can do it without. We have supine spine twist. So we breathe in and tip over onto one side of our pelvis, and then breathe out, come back to the center. Breathe in and tip over onto the other side of your pelvis. Opposite shoulder blade stays grounded on the floor. And then come back to the middle. And we'll tip over. And come back. And over. And back. So again, working our obliques, this time the lower fibers. Okay, now we can tip over. If you'd like to, you can stretch your top leg long, or for an extra challenge, both legs long. Then bend your knee or knees and come back to the middle. So we tip over, one or both legs extend. Fold your knees back in and then come center. So we tip, extend, bend, and come back. And tip over, extend, bend, come back. We've got one more on each side. Alrighty. Then you take the ball or cushion out, your feet come down to the floor. Let's lift our arms up above our chest. Fingertips are super glued together. We come up into our chest lift and then just tick-tock our arms and upper body from side to side. So this one is designed to help you release out through that thoracic spine area. You're going to stay curled up in your chest lift as you're rocking from side to side. Doing the best that you can to keep your pelvis fairly still on the mat. If you're a bit tight, it will move a little, but just trying to minimize the movement through your pelvis. All right, then come back to the middle, lower down. Stretch your arms back overhead. See if you can reach the floor. And then bend your arms into a goalpost position. Okay. From here, we're going to bring our knees and feet together and tip them all the way over to one side. So your knees touch the floor. Turn your head in the opposite direction. So you're looking at your back hand. You might feel a bit of a stretch through your chest on that back side, so the opposite arm to where your legs are pointing to. Just taking some nice big deep breaths there. And every time you breathe out, just trying to release a little and soften into that stretch. All right, then with your knees and feet super glued together, we come back to the center, tip all the way over the other side, turn your head to look at your other hand, and then just breathing and softening into the stretch. All right, coming back to the middle, relaxing your arms to wherever they feel comfortable. And we go into our pretzel rocking. So crossing your ankle over the opposite thigh bone, flexing your foot, and then just nice and slowly and gently rocking your pelvis from side to side. So we start small with this one. Gradually increase the range to where your body is comfortable to go to today. And then come back to the center. You're going to reach through, grab hold of the thigh with the foot that's on the floor and come into your pretzel stretch. So stretching into your glutes. Returning that foot to the floor, I'm going to cross the other leg over on top. Going into your pretzel rocking, starting gently, just gradually feeling the range that your body's happy with today. And then coming to the center, grabbing your thigh bone for your pretzel stretch. And releasing that foot to the floor. Okay, you all good so far?
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, let's get into some stuff. So stretch your legs out long and take your feet to a flexed position. Now I've got my heels together and my toes apart, and then trying to match that turnout with the top of my thigh bones. Ooh, do you know what's a fun added extra? You can put your ball in between your heels if you like. Now that's entirely optional, okay, so you can do it without. We'll take our hands behind our head. Curl up into your chest lift. Make sure your feet are flexed, and then lift one foot and hover it just off the floor. See if you can curl up a little bit higher. Reach your arms forward to help you achieve that little bit extra height, and then lower back down. Okay. Then we're going to try the other side. So curl into your chest lift. Other foot reaches away from the floor. It's hovering just a little bit off. Try and come a little higher. And then use your arms to help you do that. And we'll lower back down again. Let's do that again. So I'm alternating, changing feet each time I come up. You curl up. Lift your foot. See if you can come a tiny bit higher. And then lower down. Other side. Lift. Leg lifts. Get every little bit of height that you can. And then lower down. Let's do one more of those with each leg. So curling up. Lift your leg. Reaching away through your heel. And lower down. And last one. Okay. From there, let's bring our legs up to a tabletop position. If you've got the ball, you can use it at the front of your thigh. Otherwise, your hand on your thigh will work just as well. Actually, your other leg can be down on the floor if you like. While we're here, we're just going to hold the ball or your legs still with your hand and then draw in with the leg. So pressing this way into the ball or your hand, creating some resistance and release. Do that again. So scooping into your tummy to draw your leg in and release. And again, scoop it in and release. Now, as you're doing this, you want to also be feeling like your thigh bone is sinking down heavy into your hip. So you do that twice more. Release. And one more time. Press it in. And relax. Go over to the other side. Same hand as leg. Sinking your thigh bone heavy. And then drawing in. Using your low tummy. And release. Group and press in with your leg. Relax, we've got 3 more. Nice and slow, just to really try and find those low tummy muscles. And last one. Okay, now we're going to try with both legs and both arms. So have your hands crossed over each other and your elbows are lifted up out to the side. Again, your arms are the stabilizing force. Scoop your tummy to try and lift your tailbone a little off the floor to take your legs in towards the ball. And release. And again. Lots of low tummy as you're trying to curl your tailbone and just lift it the tiniest amount. Resisting with your arms. Oh, 2 more. Nice and slow. And last one. And relax that down. Okay, now we're going to take the ball to the opposite knee. Okay, so hand behind your head. Now we're going to roll up into an oblique chest lift. So you're almost twisting as you come up, reaching towards the top of your knee, and then roll back and down. So we curl up, allowing that little twist as you reach up and across, and come back down. And we'll do that one more time. Okay, same movement with the upper body, but this time with your other leg up in the air. So reaching up and across, and center and down. Press up and across, and center and down. And one more time. Now adding on again, this time as we come up and across, this other leg is going to stretch out long in the air. So we press up and across, stretch that leg out long, and then bring it all back down. So we press. And back in. One more time. And back and down. Okay, return that foot. You're going to switch over to the other leg. And away we go. So we roll up and across. And down. Like an assisted hula. Using your arm just to help you go that little bit further. Okay, then taking the other leg up in the air, and we continue. One more time. Now add your leg extension. We stretch as we twist. Come back and down. Last time. And back and down. Okay, let's put our ball or our cushion in between our knees. Take your legs to a tabletop position and then bring yourself up into your chest lift. From here, we're going to try and keep our tailbone heavy and our thigh bone heavy in the hip socket, and just stretch your legs up towards the ceiling and then lower them down. So trying to maintain that weight through the back of your pelvis into the mat. Really working the low tummy. If you want to, you can even do this one with your head and shoulders down and just really focusing on what's happening through your hip joint. Tiny little bit of pressure into your ball or your cushion. Just getting those inner thighs firing. Low tummy, pelvic floor. All right, on the next one, we're going to leave our legs out long. Okay, hold that there. We lower our legs away by squeezing the ball and also giving your glutes a little bit of a squeeze, and then lift back up again. So you lower into hip extension and lift. And keep going. Lower and lift. And lower and lift one more time. Lower down and lift. Okay. Scoot the ball down in between your shins, or if you have a cushion, just take it out. Curl our head and shoulders off the mat, and then go into single leg stretch legs, but with or without the ball. So we're just holding that chest lift, stretching our legs away, drawing in. One leg reaches away, draw it back in, stretch away, in, away, in. One more with each leg. And then take a little rest. Okay. Feel good? Feel your abs doing some work? Let's take our feet down to the floor because it is our first week back. We'll stretch our arms up to the ceiling. You can have the ball or cushion in between your knees if you like. Curl your head and shoulders off the floor and beat our arms up and down. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. In. And as you're breathing out, squeezing the ball just a little. Breathe in to release it a little. Breathe out, squeeze. Breathe in and out. Breathe in and out. And in and out. 3 more sets. And then we lower down, stretch our arms out, take a couple of nice deep breaths. We're going to stretch our legs out long as well. Holding onto your ball or cushion in your hands, you're going to lift it up to the ceiling and then push your object away from you as you try and roll all the way up to sitting. Reaching forwards toward your feet. And then imagine that I'm standing where your feet are and wrestling you for the ball. So imagine that I'm tractioning the ball towards your feet as you roll back away from it. So you're reaching the ball to your feet and pulling back away from that ball in resistance to roll back down. Now imagine I'm still there standing at your feet and I'm trying to pull the ball away from you, and feel how that helps you come up a little bit easier. And then wrestle me for it. So you've got to pull your body away from the ball, which is trying to stay close to your feet. And let's do that again. Wrestle imaginary Emma for the ball. And back down. One more time. I agree. That was sucky. Okay. All right, we deserve something nice after that. So let's come up and just do a little mermaid. You can sit in your Z sit or with your legs out in front or legs crossed, however you're comfortable to do that. Again, you can do with or without the ball. You're going to tip over and stretch and come back up. Same side again. Over and stretch. And come back up. And it good? Okay, let's add a little twist into that. So come to the diagonal and then reach your top arm toward your bottom hand, twisting through your rib cage, and then open it back out. And then twist through and down. And open. Through and down. And open. One more time. And open. And then we'll come up and switch over to the other side. So if you've got your legs crossed in any way, cross the other leg in front. Okay, straight over to start with. Tipping and coming. Tip over and lift up. 2 more times. Last one. Now come to the diagonal and we sweep around and open and sweep through and open. And one last time. All right. So from here, you're going to take a lie down on your side. If you would like to, grab a pillow or a cushion to support your head. Now we're going to do some glute work. So there's a few options for extra stuff we can have. We can have our ball behind our top knee, or if you have a TheraBand or a loop band like this, you can put that around your thighs. If you've got the big one, tie it in a little bow. So either of those options, or these exercises all work without the toys as well. So I'm going to do it without. But if you've got the ball, it's tucked in behind your top knee there. Okay. I'm doing it without because I already did these today with my over 50s. And I don't want to shock my body too much on the first day. So we're going to have our knees roughly in line with our hips and your top hip pulled down away from you. So this top side of your waist is nice and long. Now keep this same shape of your leg and just lift your leg up in the air and lower down. So we lift it up and lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. 2 more times. Okay. Then lift so that your knee and your hip are roughly in line with each other, so not very high. Your thigh bone is parallel to the floor. Flex your top foot. Press backwards through your heel, taking your thigh bone back, and then swing your leg forwards. Pressing back, and bring it forwards. Now, if you've got the ball behind your knee, you could press back and hold it back there, and then press, squish the ball. Heel towards your bottom, squishing the ball, squish, squish, squish. If you don't have the ball there, we just keep going with our swinging forwards and backwards for a little bit longer. Good. Last one. And then bringing your leg back home for just a quick moment to recover. All right, next one is our leg circles. So again, we're trying to keep that same shape at our joints, we lift up and then just circle that shape of our leg around and around, keeping our pelvis and our spine relatively still so that you're really working the muscles around the back of your hip joint particularly, into your glutes. Okay, now change direction. That's it, they look good. And then rest your leg there. Okay, next thing we're going to do is just gently work our rotator cuff muscles, so the back of our shoulders. You can put your ball in between your ribs and your elbow. You can also do it without or with a cushion or your fist. Yeah. Okay, like that, and your elbow resting on top. You've got a right angle at your elbow joint, and then set your shoulder back and down before we go anywhere. From there, we rotate our forearm and our humerus, this top arm bone, and then return. But your shoulder blade is staying relatively still. And we're trying to, as I said, you may be able to feel it, the little tiny muscles in the back of your shoulder starting to work, and they fatigue quite quickly. Let's just do 2 more. Okay, from there we need to spin over and do the other side. All right, so setting up, you've got your knees up in line with your hips, and optional ball behind your top leg. Keeping the shape of your leg the same, top hip is drawn down nice and long. We're going to lift our leg in the air and lower, and lift and lower. That's it. Good. Couple more. Lift. Okay. So then we lift up so that our thigh bone is parallel to the floor, knee and hip roughly in line. Flex your top foot. And we press back through our heel and through our thigh bone. And then swing your leg forwards. And press it back. Swing forwards. Press back. And swing forwards. We've got 2 more. Actually, no, we added in. So if you've got the ball, you can add your ball squeezes. Otherwise, we just keep going with our leg swings. That's it. Okay. Last one. All right, then take a quick rest, reset, lift your leg, and we go into our circles, keeping your pelvis and your spine still while the femur is circling around. And then change direction. And we rest. Okay, next up came our rotator cuff. So I can't set it up and look in the camera at the same time because it's all around the wrong way. So either with a fist or the ball in between your rib cage and your elbow. Our shoulder is back and down, and then keep your shoulder blades set in that position as we rotate our forearm and our humerus up towards the ceiling and close it back down. This is number 6. We've got 2 more to go. Okay, so now we're going to flip over onto our tummies and work the muscles in our back, in the back of our neck and our head. So if you've got your cushion, you can keep it there and put your forehead down on top of it. Let's have our arms wherever our shoulders are comfortably relaxed away from our ears. And then just find the midpoint of your body, settle everything down evenly onto the floor. So we start by getting a little lengthening of our tailbone towards our feet by engaging our lower abdominals, just trying to ever so gently lift your low tummy off the floor. After you get that, we're going to lift up the back of our rib cage, the back of our shoulders, and the back of our head, and then return everything to the floor. Let everything relax again, and think of gently picking up your low tummy off the floor, and then lifting the back of your ribs up, your shoulders and your head, and then releasing everything back down. Now, as you're picking everything up away from the floor, also think of gaining length out of the crown of your head, and that there's energy pulling out of the crown of your head, but also through the soles of your feet in the opposite direction. And then lowering down. Doing that again, so low tummy. And then extending up and out. Thinking long, 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 long. And lowering down. Doing a couple more of those. And one last time. Lower back down. And then let's use our arms to push back into our rest position. Okay. Then coming back down onto your mat. And you can do this one with or without the ball. If you're doing it with the ball, you just tuck the ball in there behind one knee. Oh, my feet are doing all kinds of crampy things today. Okay, then once again, you're going to have your forehead relaxed down on your pillow or your hands. But I'm just going to turn my head to the side so that you can hear me. We've got our foot flexed and a 90-degree angle at our knee joint. And then keeping both sides of the front of your pelvis evenly weighted on the floor, we're going to pull our heel and the back of our thigh up towards the ceiling so your thigh bone lifts off the mat just a couple of millimeters, and then return. We've got the goal of keeping the front of our hips evenly weighted on the floor. We just want to start to feel the muscles on the back of our thigh working. So really reaching up through your heel. Almost like you're trying to, your thigh bone is trying to bust out of the skin on the back of your leg. Okay, let's try the other side. The most important thing is to have your foot flexed, weight even through the front of your hip bones, and then pressing up through the heel and the back of your thigh bone. Two more. And then getting rid of the ball. Okay, we take, oh, time goes fast when you're having fun. Let's take our double leg kick, or let's do our single leg kick today. So you bring your elbows underneath your shoulders and your hands are in, what's the word? Fingers are interlaced. Yep, hands are together. Okay, we push the floor away through our forearms. Think of getting that little bit of length of your tailbone down towards the heels by scooping your low tummy up away from the floor. We're trying to go for that same length through our spine as we got before in our extension. And then stretch your legs really long. You're going to flex one foot and bring your heel in towards your bottom. Stretch it all the way out long again and flex your foot and bring it in. And stretch. Then twice on the other leg. Flex and fully extend. And flex and fully extend. Other side. Flex and reach. Not losing any of that length through your body, any of that lift through your low tummy. Keep pressing the floor away. Switching legs, so twice on each leg. One more time on each side. And the last one. All right, and then going into your rest position. Who's got the puppy? Oh, Krista. It's been attacking Krista the whole time. All right. Taking a nice big stretch. And then let's come into our quadruped. And let's be like Krista's happy puppy. Just wag our tails. Nice and free, and let your spine just wag and wag. Okay, from here, I'm eating my purple hair, that's excellent. You're going to take both hands over to one side of your mat and then sit your bottom back toward your heels, rounding your spine as you go back. And then come forwards again. You're going to do that twice more on that same side. So stretching, rounding your spine back as you sit back towards your heels. And then coming forwards one more time. Scooping, round back, coming back. And then take your hands across to the other side of your mat. And do it 3 times this way. Rounding and pulling back. And coming forward. 2 more times. Forward, and last one. There we go. We are done for our first Pilates back.